In this video, we will look at converting metrics, length, area, and volume. So the metrics are length, area, and volume. So previous knowledge required for this. So you have to convert metric units of length. Okay, so I want to convert 1 meter squared to centimeters squared, and we should know the fact. We should know that there's 10 millimeters in a centimeter, or 100 centimeters in a meter, and 1,000 meters in a kilometer. Let's just put a diagram down. There's a meter squared, and there's a centimeter squared. And I'm asked how many of each of these are in here. Well, if I was to take this shape and place it in the corner, I would get 100 of them in that position. I would get 100 of them in that position. So I know that I know that there is 100 centimeters in 1 meter. However, in a meter squared, there is 100. So to get the total there, it would be 100 times by 100, which is 10,000 centimeters squared. There is 10,000 centimeters squared in 1 meter squared. Now, it could be easier to see that like this. It is 100, because we have the 100 in our heads. It is 100 squared is equal to 1 meter squared. So it's the 100 times the 100. Now, when I'm dealing with millimeters, same idea. I should know that 10 millimeters is equal to 1 centimeter. But how many millimeters squared are in a centimeter squared? I've got 10 across the bottom, 10 up the side. So it's going to be 10 times 10, which is equal to 100 millimeters squared in a centimeter squared. So I've got 100 millimeters squared in a centimeter squared. I'll put that fact down. There, 10 squares. Okay, let's see some examples of questions and what these would look like. Convert 6 meters squared to centimeters squared. So I've got this fact in my head. So 6 meters squared. Let's look what 6 meters would be. To get from meters to centimeters, you times by 100. So you times it by 100. Because I'm dealing with area, I'm going to do that times 100 squared. Now that is 6 meters squared times 10,000, which is 60,000 centimeters squared. Zero 0.3 meters squared centimeters squared. So again, it's going to be 0.3 meters squared times by, I'm getting from meters to centimeters, so it's going to be times by 100. But because I'm dealing with area, it is that. That's the same as that. So 0.3 times 10,000. Imagine this is going to move 4 places over to the right, or use your calc. 0.3 times 10,000 will give me 3,000 centimeters squares. So now what I was saying here was you could just move this over 4 places, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'd have your answer. That's if it was on the non-calc. 4.2 centimeters squared to millimeters squared. So centimeters to millimeters is times by 10. It's just centimeters to millimeters. I'm dealing in area. Same as times by 100, which I can do in my head. 4.2 times 100 is 420 millimeters squares. 380 millimeters squared to centimeters squares. So now I'm going from millimeters squared to centimeters squares. So it's divided by 10. But it's not, because I'm dealing in area. Same as dividing by 100. So this divided by 100 is 3.8 millimeters squares. Sorry, 3.8 centimeters squares. Okay, same idea for volume. So for volume, I have a shape. If we look at this time, how many centimeter cubes go into a meter cube? So if I pick that up and put it down, I'd have 100 there, 100 there, and 100 there. I'd have 100 in those three places. Here I'd have 100, here I'd have 100, and here I'd have 100. So to get from, that's going to be able to do this here actually, 100 times 100 times 100 is equal to 1 million. So whereas I know that 1 centimeter, 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter, 1 million centimeter cubes is equal to 1 meter cubed, or it's 100 cubed this time. So I've got 100 cubes to get the difference. So let's look and see here. I've got my millimeters, same idea. I know that 10 millimeters is equal to 1 centimeter. So if I was to place this in, I would have 10 across the bottom, 10 across the sides, 10 and up. So that would give me 10 times 10 times 10. It's the same as 10 cubed, or 1,000. So there is 1,000 millimeters cubed in a centimeter cubed, or 10 cubed. Now let's see what these examples look like. Convert 8 meters cubed to centimeters cubed. Okay, so to get from meters to centimeters, it's times by 100. So 8 meters cubed will be times by 100, but it won't. It will be 100 cubed. That's the same as a million. So 8 times a million is 8 million centimeters cubed. Centimeters to millimeters. Centimeters to millimeters cubed. Come over here for this one. So centimeters cubed to millimeters cubed is times by 10. But it's going to be 10 cubed. That's the same as 1,000. Multiply anything by 1,000, add on those 3 zeros. 48,000. 3 zeros. And that number is 38 million millimeters cubed. .4 centimeters cubed to millimeters cubed. Centimeters to millimeters is times by 10. It's talking volumes. Look at cube there. That's cents times by 1,000. So 5.4 times 1,000 would be 5,400 millimeters cubed. Last example, 84 millimeters cubed to centimeters cubed. Millimeters to centimeters is divided by 10. So 84 millimeters cubed divided by 10. I'm dealing with millimeters to centimeters. I'm dealing with volume. I'm dividing that by 1,000. So this divided by 1,000 do you imagine the decimal points is there? Is 0.084 millimeters cubes. Sorry, centimeters cubes. These are some questions to have a go at. Press pause, and the answers will follow in one moment. And there are your answers.